Morning students, with the previous video that was last of the chapter 2 electric potential and capacitance, video number 15, we have completed that chapter. With this new video we are going to start second unit of the CBSE syllabus for class 12, unit 2, and chapter is 3. The name of the chapter is current electricity. So students, you have seen in the previous two videos, we have discussed about the electric charges at rest. What are the possible effects that can be produced by the charge at rest? But in this video, we are going to study about the flow of electric charge. But suppose two conductors A and B charged to different potential and they are connected through a conducting wire. Then, as we know, the charges going to flow from conductor at higher potential. Suppose potential of conductor A is greater than potential of conductor B. The charges flow from conductor at higher potential to conductor at low potential. So how the charges flow through a conductor? So current electricity is the study of electric charges in flow through a conductor or through an electrolyte, or flow of the charges through a semiconductor material, or the flow of charges through some other conducting device. So in this chapter we are going to study about the flow of charge through a conducting material. So on the basis of conductivity, basically we classify material in two categories. Either it can be a conductor or the material is an insulator. If a material consists charge carriers, the charged particles or charged ions which are responsible for the flow of electric current through that material, then the material is said to be a conductor, or we can say good conductor of electricity. If a material is unable to conduct or unable to flow electric charges through it, then the material is classified under second category, that is insulator or bad conductor of the electricity. Students, how electric current is defined? So you can see definition of electric current is in a conductor across an area held perpendicular. Electric current in a conductor across an area held perpendicular to the direction of the flow of charge is defined as the amount of charge across that area per unit time. Or electric current is defined as amount of charge flowing through an area cross section of a conductor per unit time. Suppose this is a conductor, an area of cross section of the conductor is held perpendicular to direction of charge flow. If delta Q charges are flowing through the area cross section of this conductor in time delta T, then what is going to be the value of electric current? Electric current is given as I equals delta Q divided by delta T. Limit delta T is tending to 0. That would be the value of the electric current. Or this can be written in differential form. I is equal to dQ divided by dt. So the amount of charges flowing through a conductor is a function of time. In that condition, to calculate value of the electric current, we can use this differential formula. Current I is equal to dQ divided by dt. But if Q charge is flowing simply through a conductor in time t second, in that condition this relation can be written: current flowing through the conductor I is equal to total charge flow divided by time interval in which the charge is flowing through the conductor. So what can be the SI unit of this quantity, that is electric current. SI unit can be coulomb second inverse, and that is ampere. So unit of electric current is ampere. How an ampere current is defined? If 1 coulomb charge flow through a cross section of the conductor in 1 second, then electric current is 1 ampere. And electric current is a scalar quantity. Electric current is always indicated with a direction. Suppose this is AB, a conductor connected to a cell. There is going to be a current flow established in the direction A to B, or in the direction positive terminal of the cell towards negative terminal. Here you can see the direction of the current flow or direction of the electric current is indicated by the arrow, but still electric current is considered to be a scalar quantity. So what is the reason behind that? Sometimes this question is asked, why electric current is considered to be a scalar quantity even though it is represented by an arrow. So reason behind this, electric current never obeys the law of vector sum or law of vector addition. So that is why electric current is considered to be a scalar quantity. Let's see how the flow of electric charge is established in a circuit. So first of all, see what is a circuit. Circuit is a closed path through which electric charges can flow. So how this flow of charge is established from point A to point B, or how electric charges can flow between 2 points of the electric field. So flow of the electric charge, some potential difference is needed, and this potential difference can be applied with the help of some external potential source. That external potential source can be a cell, it can be a battery of many cells, it can be AC mains, it can be some generator, etc. All these are called potential source, or they are providing a potential difference for the flow of electric current in a circuit. How this charge flows through the circuit? So, and what is the EMF? EMF is electromotive force, and it is defined as the energy supplied by the source in taking a unit positive charge from one point of the circuit to the other. Suppose circuit completes between these 2 points. So what is the amount of work being done by this source to move unit positive charge from one point of the circuit to the other? That is called EMF of the source. In other words, we can define EMF of the source as the maximum potential difference between the terminals of the source when there is no current being drawn from the source, or if no current is being drawn from a cell or the battery, then whatever is the maximum potential difference between its terminals. Terminals means electrodes of the battery or the cell, that is called EMF of the cell or electromotive force. SI unit of the EMF as being potential difference between two terminals of the potential source. SI unit of the EMF is again same as potential difference, that is volt. So this is unit of the electromotive force, and electromotive force is necessary for the flow of charge in a circuit. If you see how flow of electric charge is established in a material. For the flow of electric charge, charge carriers, or we can say current carriers, are necessary. These are the particles or ions responsible for the flow of electric charge through a material. They are called charge carrier or current carriers. So what are the charge carriers in the case of different type of conductors or different types of materials which conduct electric current? In case of solid conductors, or you can say metallic good conductors, free electrons are the charge carriers. In case of metals, free electron density is quite high, and these free electrons are responsible for the flow of charge or electric current. In case of semiconductors, about semiconductors, we will discuss in some other chapter in detail. In case of semiconductors, their conductivity is in between solid conductors or metallic conductors and insulators, and their conductivity is basically due to these two charge carriers, free electrons as well as holes. Holes are positively charged charge carriers. Third is electrolytes. In case of aqueous electrolytes, electric current can flow. For example, aqueous solution of NaCl is a good conductor of electricity, and charge carriers responsible for the electric current in case of electrolytes are basically cations or positive ions and anions and negative ions. These two are responsible for the flow of electric current in case of electrolytes. In case of gases, gases are basically insulators in normal condition. But if a high potential is applied at low pressure, the gases can be ionized, and again they conduct electricity. And gases conduct basically due to ions, again free electrons, negatively charged ions and positive ions. So these are the charge carriers or current carriers responsible for the conduction of electric current in different types of materials. Let's see what is drift velocity. Drift velocity of electron. From this topic onwards, we are going to concentrate on the flow of electric current in solid conductors basically. How current is established or flow of charge is established in a solid conductor. For the current flow in a solid conductor, most important thing is availability of the free electrons in that material. And as we know, free electrons or free electron density is very high in the case of metallic conductors. Suppose this is a metallic conductor. And what is drift velocity? So in metallic conductor, free electrons remain in the state of random motion, or continuously these electrons are moving in different direction, colliding with each other and change their direction and move. But what going to be the mean velocity of free electrons in the conductor? In this condition, when no electric field is applied across the ends of the conductor or no potential difference is applied across the conductor, the mean velocity of the free electrons is going to be 0. Then what is drift velocity? If we see the definition, average velocity by which the free electrons in a conductor get drifted towards the positive end of the conductor under the influence of an external electric field. It means till some external electric field is applied across the ends of the conductor, there are going to be no drift velocity. Suppose a potential difference is applied across the ends of the conductor AB. Now this is positive terminal of the cell or battery, this is negative terminal. Now again these free electrons are remaining in the state of random motion, but as soon as this potential difference V is applied across the ends of the conductor, there is going to be an electric field E acting at each free electron inside the conductor. And what this electric field does, this electric field provides a net force F is equal to minus E into E, where E is charge of electron, E is electric field, capital E is electric field, and negative sign of the force is indicating direction of the force acting on the free electron inside this conductor is opposite to direction of the electric field. Direction of the electric field is left to right, but direction of the force acting on the electron is right to left towards positive terminal of the cell, or you can say towards positive end of the conductor, or the end of the conductor at positive potential. Due to this force, now electrons, after their random motion, they start a slow drift towards the positive terminal. Drift means a slow shift of the electron towards positive terminal of the conductor. What is going to be the value of this drift velocity? So according to definition, average velocity by which the free electrons get drifted towards the positive terminal. What is going to be the average velocity? Suppose first electron, or there is one electron in the conductor having charge E. Force acting on the electron due to this electric field. Mass of the electron is m. The electron is getting accelerated towards positive terminal. What is going to be the acceleration of the electron? So acceleration of the electron by second law of motion, we can write force acting on the electron. Mass of electron m into a is equal to minus e into e, and acceleration of the electron is going to be minus e divided by m. Suppose initial velocity of that electron is u1. So what is going to be the final velocity after time tau 1 second? When these electrons are drifted towards positive terminal, this space is not free. At the time of drift or at the time of acceleration, these electrons collide with other free electrons, and between two successive collisions, they spend some time, and in the duration of that time, they accelerate. So what is going to be the final velocity of first electron after being drifted? That can be given v1 is equal to initial velocity of the electron u1 plus a tau 1. What is tau? Tau is called relaxation time. Relaxation time is time spent by the electron between two successive collisions, or the duration of time in which that electron accelerates due to force acting on the electron. So this is velocity acquired by the first electron. If its relaxation time is tau 1, initial velocity is u1 and final velocity is v1. Similarly, we can write for the second electron v2 equals u2 plus a tau 2. Then for the third electron v3 u3 plus a tau 3, and so on. Suppose n electrons are there, then velocity acquired by the nth electron can be written un plus a tau n. These are the velocities acquired by the free electrons in the conductor after the application of external electric field. Now what is the mean or average velocity acquired by all the electrons in this conductor? So V mean is going to be V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus and so on, Vn divided by number of electrons, that is n. If we put value of V1, V2, V3, Vn in this, we can get mean velocity acquired by the free electrons in the conductor. U1 plus a tau 1 plus U2 plus a tau 2 plus and so on, Un plus a tau n whole divided by n, or this can be written V mean is equal to U1 plus U2 plus U3 plus and so on, un divided by n plus a is common, tau 1 plus tau 2 plus and so on, tau n divided by n. This quantity is 0. This is initial velocity of the electron before application of the electric field, and we have seen the mean velocity of the electron before application of the electric field is 0. So this quantity is 0. So what is going to be the value of mean velocity? V mean is equal to A, that is acceleration, multiplied by tau mean. Tau mean is this quantity, mean of the relaxation time of the individual free electrons in the conductor. So value of the drift velocity, as this mean velocity is defined as drift velocity, so value of drift velocity is going to be acceleration multiplied by tau mean. If we put value of acceleration is this. What is going to be the drift velocity of all the electron in this conductor? Vd equals minus E into tau mean divided by mass of the electron. This would be the relation for the drift velocity in the conductor. If the conductor is having n number of free electrons, applied electric field is capital E, mass of the electron m, charge of electron E. Students, you can see this negative sign in the drift velocity is indicating direction of the drift velocity is opposite to the direction of the electric field. So these electrons in a bulk get drifted towards positive terminal of the application of the external electric field or external potential, and the positive charges flow opposite to the direction of the electron drift. Now question arises, what can be the order of the drift velocity of free electrons in a conductor? The order of the drift velocity is about 10 to power minus 4 meter per second. Means in a conductor, after application of the external electric field, electrons drift with this mean velocity.